Thank you very much, Speaker. Yesterday, the president of the GNU spent a considerable time saying that our input and contribution during opening of Parliament debate was playing the man and not playing the ball. The president wrongly said that we previously insulted him by saying that his father was a police officer during the dark days of apartheid, and that even when such is a fact, he is proud that his father was a law enforcement officer of apartheid laws. Let's put the facts right in front of this Parliament. We never ever have made any reference to President's father in this Parliament, and even if we did, it would have been a statement of fact and not insult. To say someone's parent is a nurse, it will never be used as an insult. To say someone else's parent is a police officer can never be used as an insult. You spoke about your father in order for you to drag my grandmother, unfairly so, because my grandmother has got nothing to do with what I'm doing here. So I want to state it very clear that, President, we respect each other and will continue to engage each other robustly. Secondly, Parliament and political work in general is not for soft-skinned people who will use all languages to complain whenever we give fair but robust and direct characterization of their political conduct. Here we speak truth and nothing else but the truth. In our characterization of the ball which you spoke about here, which you said we must play, we will also characterize the players to have a fuller picture of both subjective and objective political and ideological conditions. You can never only play the ball without understanding the strengths and weaknesses of the player. We will also welcome, and this we did at a number of times, we welcomed and tolerated whosoever does that against us. When we get criticized by your side, even sometimes the political amateurs like Butima Namel, who come and attack us personally, we never respond to them. We never cry because we are not crybabies. We fight because we are fighters. Instead of crying, we fight. In politics, the individual's personal character is key to historical developments. Otherwise, why is there Nelson Mandela Day? The individual strength of Mandela is what we are drawn to reflect upon, learn from him as a leader, but more broadly as a human being. It is a fact that in light of the government of national unity, which originate from the white capitalist establishments, we needed to appreciate your own historical involvement with these white people. And a close attention to your personal political journey gives testament to the suspicion that this government was not actually created now. It came from long time ago because you were made a project long time ago. When we say you did not go to Robben Island when your peers went to Robben Island, how can that be an insult? When we say you wrote a letter and said they planted communist ideas in your head to the police, how can that be an insult? To tell the truth is the greatest respect we give to a sitting president. It is a constitutional requirement that
Honorable
you must
Malema.
be held accountable,
Malema,
scrutinized
take your seat? There is a
about
point
the
of order.
decisions you make.
Please take your seat. There is a point of order. Honorable Dlakudi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Honorable members, order. I cannot hear the speaker.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, I am standing on a point of order based on what the Honorable Malema said. Rule number 92. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Malema referred to the President as a project, meaning that the President is acting on behalf of other people. So that is unparliamentary and it cannot be accepted. Thank you.
Honourable members, I have listened to what the Honourable Malema has said, and I think that we do have to have robust debate, so I'm not going to sustain that point of order. Please proceed.
To tell you the truth is the greatest respect we give to a sitting president. It is a constitutional requirement that you must be held accountable, scrutinized about the decisions you make. Thirdly, we have read and will never argue with you when you say we must read more books about NUM. Reading is a very nice thing to do. There are many books that we have read in relation to the formation of NUM. And we want to state very clear here that you read and called names of individuals who formed the NUM, which we say it was a project of the Oppenheimers. These individuals are all flourishing, with you being a billionaire, yet the mine workers' conditions continue to be worse. How do you form a union to go and save the workers, but the people who formed the union themselves are the ones who are succeeding, yet the mine workers are struggling? Mine workers in South Africa constitute to be the most exploited section of the working class in South Africa. Mine workers continue to be the most underpaid workers in South Africa compared the amount of wealth they extract from beneath our soil. Mine workers continue to stay in horrible conditions and informal settlement without water, roads, toilets, and without basic necessities. Mine workers continue to be the biggest victims of loan sharks, and with the biggest loan shark being Capitec. Mine workers continue to perish in occupational accidents. Solomon Nyerenda, Yvonne Mniz, and Priti Winnie Nkambule are still trapped inside a container in Lily Mine after the accident that happened in 2016, 8 years ago. Mine workers continue to live in communities defined by high levels of crime. When the mine workers protested for a minimum wage of 12,500 per month in Marikana 12 years ago, you as a director and a shareholder of London Mine, you did not take the side of the workers. You called for concomitant action, and 34 workers were massacred by the ANC government in Marikana. If you formed the union for these workers, why is the conditions remaining the way they are? The union was formed to suppress those workers. Why did you take intelligence and put it in your office instead of going to take the water crisis project of Hammanskraal and make it a presidential responsibility and deliver water? Let that water crisis sit in the office of the president if you mean it. We don't have a crisis of intelligence. That thing is imagination. The crisis is water in Guyana. Why is water not in the office of the president? Because that's what we are faced with. Why is crime not in the office of the president? You have something called evaluation and monitoring, which can monitor itself. How can it monitor other ministries? It has got no capacity to monitor itself. So we are making a call that instead of having these useless departments in your office, bring police in your office, because crime is a serious issue in South Africa. Children are being killed, women are being raped. Those are matters that the president should be occupied with and be worried about. Not this thing of wanting to be with your faction in your office, even when it is not helpful to you. Let's take serious responsibilities into the office of the president. Nalwena re a tlhompana ebile re nna poleke tee nna le wena re feta re ya ko each other's house re ya ka maoto. We don't need cabinet we don't need parliament to make an appointment. When we want to see each other, we have done so before. And I criticize you even when it is just the two of us. I'm not criticizing you here because I see these honorable members of parliament. We will continue to engage each other robustly. You asked me a question and said, where were you? It was biologically impossible for me to be there. So don't question me. Go and question my mother and my father why I was not there. But when the time came, I showed up. And when the time came, I never sold out. When the time came, I was never a collaborator. I came at an early age and nothing will remove me. Attempts were there to silence me with the story of being disrespectful. I'm not disrespectful. I engage robustly. A ke rapeletse boroko ka budulala. Nna a ke chabe motho, ke chaba maka, ke bolela nnete. Mmušo wa dinonyana o tlowa in less than 2 years. Auwe mmušo wa dinonyana, auwe!